Imagine this. Nearly 900 women over 50 were asked what they truly notice first about a man over 60. Not what men think women notice, but what they actually pay attention to. And trust me, the answers weren't what most men expect. Before we dive into the top 5 body signals older women read instantly, let me ask you something simple. If someone saw you from 30 feet away, what message would your body quietly send? Because women at this age aren't hunting for a six-pack or a Hollywood jawline. They're scanning for something far more honest, the signs of how a man has chosen to live his later years. And the 5th item on the list is something men underestimate their entire lives, until one day they catch a glimpse in a storefront window and realize everything has changed. Let's start right there. What you're about to hear can shift how people read your presence before you ever speak. Body signal 5. Your posture. The silent introduction. Women over 50 told us clearly, before a man says a single word, before they even notice his face, they register his structure. Not the gym-built version of structure, the everyday version. How he stands, how he moves, how he carries his history. Posture is not just standing up straight. It's a story. A man whose shoulders naturally collapse inward often looks like life has pressed its thumb onto him. A man whose head juts forward seems like he's bracing against a world that no longer excites him. And a man who walks as if he's shrinking himself sends one message: I'm fading. Women don't compare you to 2 0-year-olds. They compare you to yourself, the man you once were, and the man you still could be. Here's what surprised many men. Women said a man's posture reveals more about his lifestyle than his muscle mass ever could. Posture is not about height or youth. It's proof of whether you still show up for life. Why posture matters more after 60? After 60, posture becomes one of the first things to slip, and women know this. They understand the natural aging process. They're not judging you for it, but what they are judging is whether you've abandoned your physical presence or chosen to maintain it. Think of 2 men. One is muscular, perhaps even athletic, but moves like he's tired of the world. His head hangs, his back rounds, his presence whispers, I'm worn out. The other is average in size, maybe a bit soft around the middle, but stands upright, chin level, shoulders open. He moves like someone still connected to purpose. Who do women look at twice? Always the second man. Not because he's younger, but because he's alive. Your posture is your energy signature. It tells women whether you still have drive, interest, curiosity, and vitality. And the next body signal reveals even more truth because it's the hardest thing for a man to hide. How to reclaim commanding posture. The fix doesn't require a gym membership or a personal trainer. It simply requires awareness. Roll your shoulders back gently, not stiffly. Keep your head aligned with your spine. Imagine a string lifting you upward. Walk with a slow, intentional pace, not rushed, not slouched. Do this consistently, and people will start treating you differently without understanding why. At this age, you don't need perfection. You just need presence. Improve your posture, and your confidence improves automatically. Body signal 4. Your hands, the truth tellers. Now let's move to something almost every man overlooks, yet women see instantly. Your hands. Not their size, not their strength, but their condition. Hands are brutally honest. They reveal whether you pay attention to your grooming, your habits, and your personal maintenance. Women said this more than once. A man's hands show how he treats himself. Rough hands are not the issue. In fact, hands shaped by work and activity are often attractive. But neglected hands? Long, uneven nails, cracked skin, jagged cuticles? That signals a man who has stopped caring about the details of his life. And at this age, details matter more than ever. Because the next signal reveals a man's health before he even speaks. Why women judge hands so quickly? A woman sees your hands when you shake hers, pass a menu, lift a drink, reach across a table, adjust your shirt, open a door. Hands are unavoidable. Men can hide a stomach under a shirt, style their hair to cover thinning, even wear clothing to create shape. But hands tell the truth. You don't need perfect hands. You need cared-for hands. Simple habits, clipping nails weekly, smoothing rough edges, applying lotion after a shower takes 60 seconds a day. Yet the impact is enormous. Neglected hands whisper, "I ignore myself." Maintained hands say, "I still take responsibility for my appearance." Women judge neglect quickly, and hands are the first giveaway. The secret balance women actually prefer. Here's something many men miss. Over-polished hands can also be a red flag. If your hands look more manicured than hers, it may send the wrong signal. Trying too hard, overly self-focused, or even insecure. Women don't want perfect. They want healthy, capable, adult male hands. Hands that show energy, activity, and steady self-respect. Think of it this way. Working hands equals to attractive, cared for hands equals to attractive, neglected hands equals to unattractive. Over-polished hands equals to suspicious. Aim for the middle, clean, trimmed, natural. And now we move to one of the biggest indicators of vitality, your neck and jawline. Body signal number 3, the neck and jawline, the health indicator. Women over 50 ranked this far higher than muscle size, not because they expect a chiseled jawline that's unrealistic, but because the neck and jawline reveal your overall body fat, your discipline, your posture, your energy levels, your daily habits, your confidence. As men age, the neck is one of the first places gravity works its magic. Skin loosens, fat collects under the chin, muscle tone fades. Women don't mind any of that. What they react to is whether you've surrendered to the process or decided to push back. Women are not seeking youth, they're seeking evidence of effort. Why the neck area matters so much. Your neck and jawline are always visible, even under clothing, even across the room. Women described it like this: a clear jawline shows control. A disappearing one shows resignation. And here's the empowering part. This is the area most responsive to change. Losing just 5 to 10 pounds can redefine your entire lower face. Training your back and posture muscles can visibly lift your neck position. Correct head alignment can restore the profile you haven't seen in years. This isn't about becoming younger. It's about showing that you still choose improvement, because that attitude is deeply attractive. The next section contains a real-life example that proves how quickly this can shift. A real example of transformation. Marcus, 67, wasn't trying to impress anyone. He simply wanted to feel sharper. He lost 12 pounds over 4 months, did gentle chin tuck, exercise daily, adjusted his posture when walking, nothing extreme, just consistent. A month later, at an art event, 3 women approached him, not because he suddenly became a model, but because his neck and jawline finally reflected the energy he felt inside. Women see these changes instantly, long before they look at your arms, shoulders, or chest. Small improvements in visible areas create massive changes in how people react to you. Body signal 2, forearms, the strength women don't admit they look at. This one surprises almost every man. Women pay enormous attention to a man's forearms, far more than biceps or shoulders. Not because forearms are sexy, but because they reveal 2 things. 1. Functional strength. 2. Capability. Forearms are involved in almost everything: carrying, lifting, opening, gripping, fixing, supporting. Women aren't impressed by how much you bench. They're impressed by how capable you look in everyday life. Forearms display that instantly. Forearms reveal ability, and ability is highly attractive. Why forearms matter more than upper arms. Here's what women told us. Men spend hours training the mirror muscles, chest, biceps, abs, but women don't judge men in the mirror. They judge them in life. Forearms show whether you're active, whether you use your hands, whether you're engaged with the physical world instead of passively scrolling through it. And here's the bonus. Forearms respond well even at 60, 70, or beyond, because grip strength doesn't decline as rapidly as other areas. Visible veins, a bit of firmness, a sense of readiness. All of this signals vitality. And the final body signal is the most powerful of all because it reflects who you are at your core. Body signal number 1, your eyes and expression, the real mirror of self, respect. Now we reach the most powerful signal of all, the part women pay attention to even before your smile or your voice. Your eyes, not their color, not their shape, not wrinkles or age lines, but the expression inside them, the message your eyes send without your permission. Your eyes reveal whether you're engaged, present, confident, curious, or whether you've slowly dimmed your own light over the years. Women described it perfectly. A man's eyes show whether his spirit is awake, and that single factor shapes how every other part of you is interpreted. Your expression is the emotional signature that tells the world who you are. How your expression changes with age and why it matters. Many men don't realize that as life wears on them, their facial expression begins to shift. The eyes settle lower, the gaze becomes heavier, the eyelids droop slightly, the spark of attention fades. Lines of worry or fatigue deepen. Women aren't judging the aging process, they're looking for signs of internal collapse. That moment when a man starts living smaller, quieter, less boldly. A strong expression isn't about looking young, it's about looking alive. When your eyes look engaged, your entire presence transforms. People assume you're confident even before you speak. And the simplest shift you can make takes less than 3 seconds. How to reclaim a powerful masculine expression. Try this starting today. Lift your gaze slightly above eye level. Relax the muscles around your eyes. Focus your attention outward, not inward. Let your eyebrows rest naturally. And soften your jaw instead of clenching it. This tiny adjustment makes you look more alert, more aware, and more grounded. You don't need to force intensity. You just need to stop shrinking the expression that life has earned you. At your age, you shouldn't be hiding your experience. You should be broadcasting it. A lifted gaze and intentional expression add more presence than any physical change. The message your eyes should communicate after 60. By this stage of life, you've seen enough, learned enough, lived enough, and overcome enough that your expression should carry a quiet authority, not arrogance, not hardness, but certainty. Women want to see clarity, purpose, emotional steadiness. A man who knows himself. A man who isn't afraid to meet the world directly. When you walk into a room with your eyes open and your presence steady, you don't need to say anything. Your expression speaks for you. I'm still here. I still carry strength. And life hasn't beaten me. But once you master these 5 physical signals, something deeper begins to matter even more. The next layer, women notice your presence. Once a woman registers your posture, hands, jawline, forearms, and expression, she shifts her attention to the one thing that can amplify or destroy everything else: your presence. Presence isn't a physical feature. It's the energy you bring into the moment. And the strongest part of your presence is something most older men never think about. Your voice. Not your accent. Not your pitch. Not how loud you are. Your cadence, your clarity, your tone, your pacing. Women over 50 call it the command signal. And when it's missing, all your other strengths get overshadowed. Your presence begins the moment you speak. The command signal, why your voice matters more after 60. As men age, something subtle happens that most don't recognize. Their voice becomes softer. Their words trail off. They speak faster to get it over with. They clear their throat more often, or they speak in a hesitant rhythm, as if questioning themselves. This shift isn't caused by age. It's caused by self-reduction. Men gradually learn to shrink their voice to avoid conflict, avoid attention, or avoid expressing opinions people may not like. But women notice this immediately. A weak, fading voice signals uncertainty, lack of confidence, low self-belief, emotional withdrawal, and most importantly, it suggests he no longer thinks his voice matters. But the right type of voice doesn't mean loud or aggressive, it means something completely different. What women actually want to hear in a man's voice. Women aren't looking for booming volume. They don't want a performer. And they don't like men who dominate conversations. They want a voice that is steady, paced, grounded, calm, intentional. Think about leaders you respect, the ones who speak confidently in meetings or social gatherings. They don't rush their words. They don't speak from the throat. They don't sound like they're asking for permission to speak. Their voice feels anchored, like it comes from deep inside, not from the surface. That is the masculine voice women find most compelling. A grounded voice communicates confidence before your words even matter. How to develop a commanding voice at any age. Here's a simple technique that changes everything. Speak then, listen slower. Pause 1 second longer. Breathe before you answer. This immediately adds authority to your tone. Also try speaking from your diaphragm instead of your throat. Allowing silence instead of filling every gap. Ending your sentences with clarity, not fading out. Your voice doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be intentional. A man who speaks slowly and clearly doesn't come across as old. He comes across as confident. Now that you understand the physical and vocal signals, we move into the most important transformation of all, the mental shift that separates men who age strongly from men who fade. You might be thinking, is it too late to change all of this? Absolutely not. In fact, you're at the perfect age to begin. Because the men who thrive in their 60s, 70s, and beyond aren't the ones who try to be young again. They're the ones who lean into wisdom, intention, discipline, and presence. Your challenge isn't your age. It's the belief that your best days are behind you. The moment you remove that belief, life becomes wide open again. Your age isn't the obstacle, your self-doubt is. Why you are uniquely positioned for a comeback. You have something younger men don't. Decades of failure, decades of recovery, decades of resilience, decades of earned wisdom. This gives you a major advantage, not a disadvantage. You're not starting behind. You're starting with a depth that younger men haven't even lived long enough to earn. And women your age feel that depth. They see it in how you carry yourself, how you move, how you speak. This is why the combination of physical upkeep plus mental strength becomes incredibly magnetic in later life. And now we connect everything, your body, your voice, your presence, into one powerful identity. The final integration, becoming the man who commands respect without asking for it. When you combine posture, hands, jawline, forearms, expression, and voice, something powerful happens. You stop moving through the world passively. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for taking up space. And instead, you become the man who stands with intention, moves with clarity, speaks with confidence, shows genuine presence, radiates earned maturity. Women don't want a perfect man, they want a man who hasn't given up on himself. That is the quiet power you build piece by piece. Every improvement you make on the outside strengthens the man you feel on the inside. Why most men your age don't do this, and why that's your advantage. Here's the truth, almost no one says out loud. Most men over 60 stop improving long before their bodies stop being capable. They fall into routines. They settle. They decide their best years have already passed. But that belief ages a man faster than any number on a calendar. The world isn't filled with too many strong older men. It's filled with too many who surrendered early. This means you're not competing with an entire generation. You're competing with the handful who still care. And by choosing to care even a little, you immediately stand out. Because the next step is where the transformation becomes permanent. Step into the identity of a man who continues to grow. At this stage of life, you don't need massive overhauls. You don't need extreme plans. You don't need to reinvent yourself overnight. You simply need consistency. 5 minutes of posture practice a day, a weekly habit of grooming your hands, daily awareness of your expression, regular movement that engages your neck, shoulders, and forearms, a mindful, grounded pace when you speak. Small actions repeated with intention create massive shifts in your identity. You don't become someone new. You return to the strongest version of yourself. Identity changes through daily habits, not dramatic transformations. Let go of the belief that you're too old. Think about this for a moment. You've survived decades of challenges most people couldn't handle. You've worked through heartbreak, pressure, loss, and responsibility. You've handled situations younger men wouldn't even know how to begin navigating. You're not too old, you're seasoned, and that is incredibly attractive when you allow it to show. Women your age are not looking for youth. They're looking for a man who has learned to make peace with himself. A man who doesn't run from life's imperfections. A man who embraces his story instead of hiding from it. And that brings us to the most important message of all. Your new standard for how you carry yourself? From this point forward, set a new standard. Never move through the world half-present. Never speak as if your voice is optional. Never let your posture collapse into resignation. Never allow neglect to replace self-respect. Your body is not supposed to look 25. It's supposed to look lived in, but it should also look maintained. Your eyes should show wisdom. Your voice should show calm authority. Your posture should show strength. Your hands should show capability. These are the traits that make a man irresistible at any age. Your age is not a decline, it's the beginning of a different kind of power. Stop shrinking. Start leading. Many men gradually shrink themselves without noticing it. They walk smaller. They talk softer. They think less of themselves. They assume no one is watching. They treat their age like a burden. But here's what you must realize. People watch you more as you get older, not less. Your presence affects your family, your relationships, your social life, your dating life, and even how strangers treat you. When you shrink, the world shrinks around you. When you rise, the world rises to meet you. You've lived long enough to carry authority by default. Don't waste that. And the key to rising is simpler than you think. The daily practice that amplifies everything. Here's a simple exercise to transform your presence in under 30 seconds each morning. 1. Stand tall with your shoulders naturally back. 2. Take one deep breath, slow and controlled. 3. Lift your gaze slightly above horizontal. 4. Let your jaw relax. 5. Say one quiet sentence to yourself. I move with purpose. This primes your nervous system, your posture, and your expression. It sets the tone for every interaction that follows. When you begin the day with intention, you carry that intention into every room you walk into. A powerful life starts with a powerful morning presence. What women see when you choose effort over excuses. Women at this stage of life aren't looking for the man with the best genetics. They're looking for the man who still chooses himself. A man who invests in his health, respects his appearance, maintains discipline, communicates clearly, shows emotional steadiness, carries calm confidence. These qualities are rare, and rarity creates attraction. When you choose effort, you're already ahead of 85% of men your age. Not because you're better, but because you haven't stopped improving. And the final message will tell you exactly who you are becoming. You are not in a declining chapter, you're in a refining chapter. You're not entering the ending of your life. You're entering the part where everything you've learned finally matters. All the mistakes, all the failures, all the wisdom, all the resilience, all the strength you didn't have at 25, all the maturity you didn't have at 40, all the clarity you didn't have at 50. Now you understand what deserves your attention and what never did. This is not the time to step back. This is the time to step into the strongest version of yourself. Age doesn't reduce you, it sharpens you. Your new path forward. From this moment on, stand with purpose, move with calm confidence, speak with clarity, maintain the body signals that express strength, and never underestimate the power of small, consistent discipline. You've already begun the transformation simply by understanding what women truly notice. Now your job is to apply it slowly, steadily, and intentionally. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to create your strongest chapter yet. What you've learned here is not about attracting women. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally draws respect, admiration, and connection. Posture, hands, jawline, forearms, eyes, voice. These are not vanity details. They are reflections of your internal discipline and self-respect. Age may change your body, but discipline shapes your identity. And identity is what people remember.